Good morning, good afternoon, good night. What is going on? My name is Tim Williams. We're here to break down Thursday's 8-game MLB slate over on DraftKings. If you are new to the channel, what's up? Welcome. If you love baseball, you love DFS, you love playing DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever, you are in the right spot here. We're going to break down each and every one of these games. We're going to talk pitching, hitting, matchups, all of that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the link below, subscribe to the channel, like this video, helps me out a ton. And let's just jump right into this one. We have the Orioles taking on the Blue Jays. Blue Jays favorited at home, 11 over under, massive over under slate or game here. You have Kramer taking on K for the Blue Jays. Kramer 6.5K, zero interest here. Taking on the Blue Jays, really tough matchup here. Opponents hitting 278 against Kramer, getting on base 341. He gives up 44.7% hard contact, 13 home runs in his 11 starts so far this season. And then on the other side, K, 4K, the price is cheap. He has had some success here, right? And his opponents here, the Orioles, I'm not too afraid of here. Kind of interesting, something we'll have to take a look at. I'm not sure how long he's going to really go in this one. Opponents hitting 272, getting on base 372. Not great, not ideal, right? But he's only 4K, 24.5% strikeout rate. He is also home run pro, just like his opponent Kramer here. K gets a 51.7% ground ball rate, which is pretty nice. I think both offenses in play here in general. It's only an 8-game slate. Orioles, Mancini, Mountcastle's been hitting the ball a lot better lately. Mullins, and then a guy I really like that's really cheap, Severino. He's a guy that can take walks. He has power against lefties. I don't mind him here. And then on the other side with the Blue Jays, Vlad at 6-1, I think very much in play. This whole Blue Jays offense is just, they're so good, right? And Kramer, I think they might light him up here. Bichette at 6K, Semien, Biggio at 4.3. Springer is back. 3.8K is just way too cheap for him. I don't even mind getting to like Gurriel or any of those guys either, right? You can make chalky stacks work by just taking some of those 7-8 hitters, 7-8-9 hitters. So next game here, we have the Braves Reds, no over under yet. Tomlin taking on Santillan. Tomlin 5.7K, kind of a spot start here. I think it's his first start on the season. So I don't think he's going to go very long. Opponents hitting 304 off of him. That is not good. 16.8% strikeout rate. He gets hard hit a lot, 40.2% hard hit rate. And then his opponent here, Santillan, 7.5K. Don't like him in this spot. Both offenses here, some of the best in baseball. He's making his third start overall. Opponents hitting 310, 421 on base percentage. 12.8% walk rate here. I really do like attacking pitchers who have a high walk rate. He's probably not going to go very deep in this game. 54% hard hit rate. Bats, I think both sides are in play. There's not a ton on either side that just kind of screams value. For the Braves, Freeman at 6K. Acuna obviously will be in play. I think he's day-to-day. I'm not sure if he's going to make it back in this lineup, but if he is, he's definitely in play, of course. Albies 4.9. Swanson probably, I don't mind getting there at 3.6K, right? The price is fine. And then on the other side with the Reds, Winker, I really love the matchup here for him. He's been somewhat quiet as of late. I expect him to be kind of popular, but very much in play. Votto 4.6, Naquin. I love the lefties in this Reds lineup. Stevenson will probably be hitting fourth. He's kind of been chugging along so far, but he's definitely in play. Castellanos 4.9. I know he hasn't been producing a ton, but the price is right? I think this one, although it doesn't have an over-under total just quite yet, I think it's going to be pretty up there. Next, we have the Nats taking on the Marlins. Ross taking on Petit. Ross 9.6K. Let's talk about that real quick. Opponents hitting 236 off of him. They are getting on base. The on base percentage for his opponents is 314. The strikeout rate 22.5%. 22.5%. Excuse me. It's not enough to really kind of warrant that 9.6 price tag. 8.3% walk rate. He does give up home runs here, 38% hard hit rate. Does get those ground balls, right, 42% of the time. I think the matchup is fine against the Marlins. The Marlins can, explode at times. I don't necessarily think we need to get to Ross. He's just too expensive. He really needs to hit that ceiling in order to pay off that price. And then Petit, 7.1K. Opponents hitting 188 off of him, 23% strikeout rate. The walk rate is up 10.6%. I just don't trust him. He was never really a strikeout guy in the minors. So I don't think that strikeout rate is very accurate in his limited sample size. Really, really tough matchup here against the Nationals. I really do want to get to some of these Nationals bats. They just exploded today. I'm filming the night before. They went off. Turner 5.9, Soto 5.6, Schwarber way too cheap, 3.9. And then they have plenty of these other pieces like the Josh Harrisons, the Castros of the world, 3.2K. A lot of these guys you can make somewhat of a stack work. And then on the other side with the Marlins, Marte at 4.6, Jazz, Duvall, and then Sanchez, I really, really love as like a punt outfield play, 2.4K if he does start. I like the offenses somewhat on both sides, but really do lean more on the National side here. Zero interest in pitching. Next one here, we have the Red Sox Rays. No over under here yet. Pivetta taking on Wacha. Pivetta 9.5K, similar to Joe Ross, just really too expensive for this type of slate. Opponents hitting 231 off of him. Opponents on base percentage 322. He has a nice strikeout rate, 27%, but the walks are up. The guy has so much talent, but guys are getting on base. He's getting hard hit about 40% of the time. I just don't trust Pivetta here, but I don't think he's like the worst play by any means. The Rays do strike out a lot, but the Rays do have a formidable offense that I think can put up a lot of runs. And then Michael Wacha on the other side, not interested in him, especially on this slate. We don't have too many offenses to choose from. Red Sox are just too good. And then let's talk Red Sox pricing, right? Devers 5.1, Martinez 5K. Bogart's way too cheap. I think he's about $1,000 too cheap, 4.8K. Verdugo. And then just to get a little bit different, I don't think a lot of guys are going to be playing Bobby Dahlbeck at 3.1K if he does start. And then on the other side, equal interest in the Rays here. Meadows, Arozarena, priced up here, right? But like you can really make this stack work. Franco finally priced up. He was 2K his first two games, 3.8K here. I think that's too cheap for his ceiling. Margot, low. I think there's a lot of ways you can go with this Rays stack here. Next, you have the Astros Tigers, 10 over under. Astros favorited. They're just putting on a clinic this season. They are one of the better hitting offenses in all of baseball. Garcia taking on Urania. Garcia 8.7K might be my favorite pitcher on this slate. Opponents only hitting 205 off of him. He is a fly ball pitcher, but his fly ball rate's only sitting at about 34% here, 28% strikeout rate. I love the matchup here in Detroit. And then his opponent here, Urania, 5.1K. We're not going to get there, right? Against the Astros, one of the best offenses in baseball. There's just no way. Opponents hitting 281, getting on base at 361, 14% strikeout rate. So he's not really striking guys out here. He does do a good job getting those grounders 51% of the time. Really good at limiting the fly balls here, right? But he's just getting hard hit 46% of the time. Astros are going to smack the ball around. They're going to really challenge him. I think it's going to be kind of a messy one. Astros probably one of my favorite stacks for sure. Altuve, Alvarez, Correa, Tucker, Brantley, too cheap. He's just been mashing the ball all of June. And I really don't mind getting to Miles Straw here, 2.5K. Once in a while, he'll get you that silly home run, right? But really, we're just looking for him to get on base and to steal bases. I think he has some upside here. We're trying to figure out a way to get a little bit different, right? Altuve, all those guys, they're going to be popular. So I don't mind getting to Straw. He's just really cheap, and it makes you a little bit different from the rest of the field. And then on the Tigers side, Like I said, Garcia is a fly ball pitcher here. He has been pretty good. Jonathan Schoop has just been mashing the ball, 5.1K, Badu 3.1K. Really the two guys that have the most upside to me on this Tigers team. I don't mind even rostering Garcia and then taking one of either Badu or Schoop. I don't mind it at all, especially on a short slate like this, 8 games. I don't mind taking a pitcher with one opposing batter. So next, we have the Indians Twins here, 9 over under. Mejia taking on Barrios, Twins favorited. Mejia, 4.7K, really cheap price tag. Probably will go about 4 or 5 innings. I don't have a ton of interest there. I think he's got about a 20% strikeout rate here. He just doesn't have a ton of upside. And then on the other side, Barrios, 10.4K. He will be popular as well. The Indians offense kind of struggles at times, right? But Barrios has really been struggling against left-handed bats. Opponents hitting 227 off of him, which is really great. 25.7% strikeout rate, 38% hard hit rate, 43.6% ground ball rate, right? All of that sounds pretty decent, but it kind of is just an average of his splits between righties and lefties. Really does struggle against left-handed bats. I really don't mind getting contrarian here and playing some of these lefty Indians bats. Ramirez, switch hitter, 5.6K, tons of upside. Bradley, 4.5. I will pay that just to get some sort of advantage on my opponent. I think Barrios will be somewhat owned here. Hernandez, Rosario, Naylor. If Zimmer starts, he's at the flat min, 2K, left-handed batter. I don't mind getting to these Indians bats. And then on the other side, there's Nelson Cruz, and then you got guys who are banged up. I think I'm only really going to get to the Twins for the cheap salaries. So Kepler 3.2, Larnach 2.7, Kirilloff 3.5. They're all just a little bit too cheap. So you're getting some good value there. Next, you have the Pirates Cardinals 8.5 over under. As of now, Cardinals favorited. Cool taking on Martinez. Cool, not going to get there right. Not a ton of strikeout upside, not a lot of upside in general. Cardinals are just kind of finicky. I think the bats have a ton of potential. Cool has a 13.8 walk percentage there, like to attack guys with high walk rates. And then Martinez on the other side, 6.3K. He's cheap. He also is leading the MLB in earned runs at 50. Only 6 home runs given up in 13 starts, right? So he's just kind of getting hit around. He gives up a ton of contact. The Pirates don't have a ton of power anyway. So in order for the Pirates to really just get a bunch of runs, they're just going to have to keep hitting the ball or taking their walks. Opponents are hitting 255, 342 on base percentage against Martinez, 15% strikeout rate. So he's not really striking out a ton of guys. I don't think I'm going to full stack the Pirates, but I think the bats are somewhat in play. Well, maybe 1, 2, 3 guys max. Hayes 4.5, Frazier 4K, really pesky leadoff hitter there. Reynolds continually being priced way too cheap, 3.2K. Polanco has some power upside. Moran, I know he's been struggling, but he is really cheap. And then on the other side, Cardinals, Arenado, 5.7K. He just hit a home run. O'Neill, 3.4, a lot of power upside there. DeYoung, 2.8K. He's been struggling, but, is some upside there. There's games where he can hit 2 home runs. Goldschmidt as well. So interesting matchup here. I do favor the Pirates bats. You can kind of mix and match. You want to get some of those Blue Jays. You want to get some of those Astros. Pirates bats are cheap enough where you can kind of get to those bats. Next and final game, we have the Cubs Dodgers, no over under, no favorite as of now. Davies taking on Buehler. Davies 8.1K, little too pricey. Tough matchup against the Dodgers here. Opponents hitting 263 on base percentage, 354 against Zach Davies. The strikeout rate is very poor, 13.9%. His walk rate is way too high, 11.2%. He's going to struggle here against the Dodgers. 42% hard hit rate. He does a good job limiting the fly balls, only given up 6 home runs in the last 15 starts, I guess, this season. And then Buehler, 11.5K. I don't necessarily think the matchup's great. The Cubs do strike out a lot, right? And the Cubs can put up a lot of runs. I think Buehler's just a really good overall talented pitcher. Opponents hitting 196 off of him, 25% strikeout rate. I think he's just kind of going to sit there for the rest of the year, about 25% strikeout rate, 41.4% ground ball rate. So really relies on getting those grounders. He's a solid pitcher, but the price is just a little bit too high. I think he's going to be popular. I'm probably going to fade Buehler and just pay up for bats in this 8-game slate. I'm not really interested in getting to any of these Cubs. They're kind of priced up. The matchup's tough. You have to sit there and think, what's more likely to happen? Is Buehler going to go 6-7 innings, maybe give up 2 earned runs, strike out 5? You're not going to win by stacking the Cubs here, right? And then on the other side, Turner, Betts, Muncy, definitely in play. The price is really high, but like we talked about, getting to some of those cheaper bats might allow you to pay up for some of these guys. I'm not really afraid of Davies, but like I said, he does not give up a ton of home runs. Bellinger's back, 4.3K. I think the price is right. He'll probably be popular here, but there's clear offenses that are in really good spots here. It's going to be kind of one of those chalky nights again, but that'll do it. That's it for the breakdown. My name's Tim Williams. I hope this video helped you. If it did, if you learned something new today, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel. I don't want you to miss out on any future content here. We've gotten some good feedback from a lot of people saying they're winning some money here. So that is really awesome to hear. I really appreciate everybody for watching. Best of luck in tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching it. Good luck on your contest. Peace.